what is sleep efficiency and how can it actually help you to improve your sleep, overcome your long-term insomnia and sleep problems? In this video, we're really going to look at what sleep efficiency is, looking at some of the misconceptions that you might have read or heard about, and actually really help you to understand what are the first steps that you need to take to improve the quality of your sleep through sleep efficiency. Now, over the years, I've heard many different misconceptions about how people perceive sleep efficiency and what they have done to actually really, unfortunately, decrease the amount of efficiency they have when it comes to sleep. So even though somebody like you might understand what it is, it doesn't mean you can make it happen. So there is often that missing gap between the knowledge itself and how to really transfer it into a practical approach to really help you to overcome your sleep problems or even insomnia. So in this video, we're really going to look at those different things and help you to make those plans, the practical plans, to really use this for your advantage. Now, those of you who are new to my content, and this is the first video that you ever seen of me talking about sleep or insomnia and sleep problems, then let me quickly introduce myself. So my name is Beatrix Schmidt. I'm a sleep coach, a professional speaker, and the creator of the Sleep Skills for Life program, which is my way of helping people like you who have been struggling with longer term, either insomnia or other sleep problems. So it's a practical course that takes you through a structured plan that you can put in place to finally really improve your sleep and overcome your sleep problems. And of course, those of you who are returning, then welcome back. Thank you very much for being part of my community and continuing to look at these different videos that I put out publicly so you can start having a better understanding and a practical plan to really improve your sleep. So I look forward to seeing you in the comments. Now, obviously, if you want to hear more from my work and from me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Hit that little bell too so I can let you know when I post new videos. And of course, hit the like button below when you have watched enough of the content so you can see how much it benefits you as well. So let's look at what sleep efficiency is and really help you to sort of make a plan of using it and making sure that you're using it in a good way, that actually can help you rather than hinder your progress in terms of improving and overcoming your sleep problems. So sleep efficiency is very simply this percentage between the amount of time you spend in bed versus the amount of time that you actually spend sleeping in bed. So what we look at in terms of a good sleep efficiency is 85% or better. Now, this is one of the first misconceptions that I always come across. Often people actually expect that as soon as they go to bed, they should be sleeping straight away and they should be sleeping really till the moment that they have to get out of bed. But that can put a lot of pressure on you to look at what I normally address as sleep perfection. You know, that's why sleep efficiency is at 85% or more, because it gives you a little bit of that wiggle room so that the transitions of going from daytime to nighttime, which is falling asleep, can happen naturally without pressure or stress. And also waking up is a process which can happen naturally too. So that's why that 85% is a very good number to aim for rather than 100% or even 90% or above, which can be sometimes very unrealistic, especially when you're struggling with sleep problems that have been around for a long period of time. So it's a word of warning there to make sure that you're not putting too much pressure on yourself first. You know, if you look at an 80 or 85% sleep efficiency as a first level of maybe aim, that's a really good place to be, rather than putting the extreme pressure on yourself to aim at 100% or close to 100%, which often never really happens, even with people like me who sleep well. Because there are going to be times in between you turning the lights off and already being in bed to falling asleep, and on the other side waking up as well. So just relax about it a little bit. This is one of the first things I always talk about. because we don't want to create more pressure. So let's look at a practical example of what that 85% means. So I'll give you my example. So normally I go to bed at 11 o'clock and I wake up at 7 o'clock. That's my time frame. So it doesn't have to be the same for you. Again, everyone is different. So whatever time frame you have is important to really look at, does it work for you within your circumstances? Mine is this, and I very much fine-tune my sleep around it. So when we look at the 11 to 7 o'clock time frame, what we want to look at as an 85% sleep efficiency is sleeping for 6 hours and about 50 minutes. So just under 7 hours within that 8-hour time frame. So as you can see, it gives us the opportunity to have a bit of that wiggle room. Obviously, my sleep efficiency tends to be a little bit higher than that because I have learned so many different tools and techniques that helps me proactively and practically to make that happen. But you don't have to put that pressure on yourself first. Just really look at where you're at and growing from there. So now that you know what this percentage is that you want to aim for, what are the first steps that you need to take to even calculate this? Now, this is another thing that I come across in my practice. Often people say, oh, I think I slept this amount of time, or I think I spent that amount of hours per maybe chunk of time. Sometimes people actually have a wearable device that tells them what that number is. One of the best ways to really re-educate yourself and understand where you're at is keeping a sleep diary. Because that way you can really start understanding in a day-by-day basis of what differences you can make to influence it, or maybe some of the things that hinder that progress. So please don't just jump into a conclusion of what your sleep efficiency might be. It's really looking at it from a very practical perspective through a sleep diary. It's really getting to know your sleep in a very good way and not in a perhaps emotional way. Again, when people struggle with sleep problems, I see all the time that they often tend to actually negatively approach sleep, which means that you might just say that you perhaps slept 5 hours, but is it really true? And when we look at exploration through a sleep diary, we can actually start seeing what is true reality rather than just giving it a number and guessing it. The other word of warning here, this is not about dissecting your sleep too much either. So we're not looking for, let's say, 6 hours, 5 minutes and 20 seconds, because you can't potentially know that. You know, you're transitioning into sleep and out of sleep, which means that you just have to look at it from a, again, more practical perspective of rounding it towards, and normally what I say, towards the sort of 15-minute benchmark. So with my clients, we normally look at, so do you think you slept 6 hours, maybe 15 minutes, or maybe more close to 6 hours, 30 minutes, and so on. So I hope that makes sense for you as well. But that is the first step, is rather than guessing, you've got to go through the effective sleep diary keeping to really becoming more knowledgeable about where you're actually at. Then, if you discover that your sleep efficiency is, let's say, lower than 85%, then it's important not to get really stressed about it. Think of it as a progress. Think of it as, I'm going to look at improving it. Think of it as developing skill sets so that you can fall asleep maybe easily. You can sleep through the night more efficiently. And also you can extend your sleep in the morning till the time that you have available. And these are all different skill sets. And that's what really I do within the work, is help people understand the skill sets that they need to then tap into this idea of sleep efficiency. So those are some of the first steps. Another thing here is really looking at a very realistic expectation, which I've already mentioned. It's really important not to put extreme pressure on yourself, because it can actually make things worse. The more you potentially worry about sleep, or the more you put yourself under pressure to achieve even 85%, if you've discovered that your sleep efficiency is lower than that, it's not necessarily going to be able to help you to relax in the night and relax about your sleep too. So if you discover that your sleep efficiency is lower, maybe just look at improving 10% or 5% and take it one step at a time. That's always a better approach than putting the pressure on yourself, which can actually turn against you. So these are some of the practical steps that you can take to, first of all, really figure out what your sleep efficiency is, then look at improving it. And the other additional part to this is really what I mentioned earlier, is the skill sets. Now, I'm not going to discuss that in this video because every part of your sleep will have a different group of skill sets. But there are other videos on this channel and within my work publicly available where I look at falling asleep as a skill set, or sleeping through the night as a skill set, or even waking up naturally as a skill set. So after you've looked at your efficiency and looked at where you might be sort of less than 85%, look at those different skill sets and develop them separately and one thing at a time. Never bombard yourself with too much information, because often it can mean that you don't know what's working. So I hope this video has helped you to get a bit of a clarity on sleep efficiency and how you can use this idea to benefit you rather than maybe make things more negative or perhaps increase concern, nervousness, or even worries about sleep. This is not about that. It's really about helping you to understand where you're at and then make a plan on moving forward. So if you like this video, then hit the like button below. Let me know in the comments what you've looked at in terms of sleep efficiency here. Do you already know what it is, and what steps you maybe are going to take to improve it? Which area of your sleep you are going to be focusing on? And of course, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit that little bell so I can let you know when I post new videos. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. And we're going to continue building these practical things that you can use to overcome your insomnia and overcome your sleep problems too. So thank you for watching.